face. People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty use a booster, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jays. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, and look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get on out my problems, let me When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal, when I put my foot on, I got to put on, I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got your...
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Oilers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Tucson, Christian travel. Fire.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number one from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
Okay, ready?
58, come on. Drop deep, drop deep.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he will find his man on the outside. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Costello looking middle, and that's complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back to throw. Costello, throw left side, complete. It's Jacobs. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
6-6, pull it high.
58, 58, 58, Mike. Come on,
Hold. Rock it. Hey, foxtrot.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. On first down, Sanders. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ready? Under 10.
General West. Get it.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll find Moreau here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. 4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Got it.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to... But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off at his own 46. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down.
90,
58, come on. Hey, we got to get this stuff.
Looking to throw. Costello. It's caught by Sanders. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 6-0 our score after 1.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
On second down, they'll run with White. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Give me that ball, defense. Now. Give me that ball, defense. Let's go.
They run the draw play. This is White. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down now, it's White. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
Haven't met a defense coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Leo! Hey, seam 6.
On 1st down, Costello. And that's complete to Sanders. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Throwing on 1st down, Costello. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
61, matchbox light. Bravo.
2nd and 4. And Sanders has got it complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd down, Costello. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. An 11-yard touchdown. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Looking to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Hey, Delta.
58, right over there, right over there.
Get it.
Second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
He's coming, double up.
Ready.
On first and 10, Costello. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
I got you.
Hey, Haywood.
53.
Go.
Back to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Undercrush, undercrush. Hey, Sam off.
To throw on 3rd down. Costello. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Costello. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Being chased out left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go. Ready?
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. On 4th down, Costello. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Check it back, check it back. Go.
On 1st down, Costello. Catch made. It's Moreau. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Put that team on the hunt. 58, boy, 58.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Alert 3. Jet bomber. Hey, seam 6. Hard.
Looking to throw. Costello. That is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Trying to lay one up. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 11. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
58's the money. 58's the money. Let's go, D. Check 99.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist.
80 weapon.
58, boy. 58. 58, Mike. Let's go. Defense.
Bravo.
Man up, D. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. It's a corner now.
Hey.
Go 58 to Mike.
Smooth.
Knock it out. Kill.
Rock it. Now.
To throw on second down, Costello. Going right side here, and that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
Yeah.
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
58. Right over there. Yeah.
Hey, Delta.
Rip right.
Ready.
On third down, Costello eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah.
And now here is another interception. Desmond King picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Throwing on first down, Costello, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it.
And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw. Costello. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Costello. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time that happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
Ready up.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. To throw again, Costello. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Costello. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football. Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to look deep down the and my goodness, another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
90
First down, Raiders.
Leo.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Go.
Wide, get wide.
Hey, zoom. Snap.
Back to throw. Costello. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Down. 70, Indy.
On first down, it's Sanders. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Look at me, zipper.
Off the bootleg, Costello. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hey, box truck.
Operating from the gun, Costello, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to find two scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done. But, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for him, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Oakland, their battle to finish 500 gets a slight lift as they move to 6-8 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.